Hey, Saturday morning here. So I have a lot of time, so I'm gonna try to go really slow today. Um, I'm thinking my plan is to actually write down some of these sentences to get the kanji into my brain. Um, so maybe we'll start with just this last sentence here. This part. Izan still. Where do I have room to put a notepad to write stuff down? I move the screen out there. Okay. Izan person. Fuku. And then Zen as in Shizen no Zen. Zen. Kyoku. Kyoku is memory. I should know this one. Kyoku. You remember something, you have it in yourself, and then it's the sound or the idea in your heart. Kyoku ga. Kyoku ga. So Izen Kyoku ga. Still in your memory. Fukanzen is incomplete. Fu. Sorry here. Fukanzen. Fukan complete. That's not right. Complete. There's a roof with the moto kanji under it. The origin, Fukan Zen. Zen is in Subita. Fukan Zen no Mama. Fukan Zen no Mama. Mama is like to be in the same state. Okay. Izen Kyoku. Kizen Kyoku ga Fukan Zen no Mama. Kenshi. Amachi no. So Amachi is a name in this case. Amachi no Mansion. Amachi no Mansion. Mansion. Amachi no Mansion. Making the mansion the direct object. Futatabi, second time. Futatabi otozureta. Anata no mimi ni. Amachi no Mansion. Futataba otozureta anata no mimi ni. So the second time you go ask questions at the mansion, it's really like the you who is going to the mansion for a second time. And then tozureru is to say in that direction. Utataba bi otozureru. Otozureta. Otozureta. Anata. Anata no mimi. So your ears? Anata no mimi ni. I guess what we're doing here is we're listening. Kanji ga. Kanji is a person in the story. So it's the same kanji as we saw just earlier for kanzen, but this is a person's name. Kanji. Kanji ga Satsugai Sareta. Satsugai is he was murdered. So it's a cross over a tree. The weapon, Satsugai. And then guy is the little king with the hat and the mouth. Satsugai Sareta. So Satsugai Sareta, it was something happened to him. To you. Oh, you. So that was what was being said by the news. News. Oh, news has a dash. News が、飛び込んできた。飛び込んで jump into the place. というニュースが飛び込んできた。The news flew in. How do you write this kanji? 1, 2, 3. Oh, you do the middle one 4. You go kind of backwards from normal. 飛び込んだ。飛び込んできた。以前記憶が不完全なまま。So, 天城のマンションを再び訪れたあなた。Nata, the you who still is lacking your memory and is visiting Amagi-san's house, apartment for the second time. No mimi, your ear, no mimi ni, to your ear. No mimi ni, kanji ga satsugai sareta. Kanji ga satsugai sareta toyu niuzu ga hobikonde kita. The news flew into your ear. Okay. All right. Jumping into the game. We're at the crime scene. We're gonna ask questions. Kiku. Aribai.
失礼ですが、昨夜の10時から11時の間、あなたはどこで何をなさってましたか？
So, shitsu, lacking, shitsure, the ga kami with this little umbrella handle, shitsure desu ka? Shitsure desu ga? It's rude, but kino, this is like a super basic one, but I want to make sure I'm writing it down. Kino, yeah, this little gap right here between the horizontal stroke and the vertical stroke is kind of important. So, sakuya. It's not kino, it's sakuya, last night, not yesterday. Sakuya no 10時の10時から11時まで11時の間失礼ですが、昨夜の10時から11時の間、あなたはどこで何をなさってました？なさる is just to do, so what were you doing? The honorific form. So 何を知っていますか? But here we're putting him in the honorific. So あなたはどこで where どこで and what 何をなさってなさってなさるなさってましたか？失礼ですが、昨夜の10時から11時の間、あなたはどこで何をなさって ましたか？
アリバイですか？
アリバイですか？
いえ、お気になさらないでください。当然の質問でしょう。私は昨晩、
いえ、お気になさらないでください。So, o ki ni nasaranai de kudasai, it's like, don't be so trouble yourself about it. Tozen no shitsumun desho. It's a natural question, so like, don't feel like it's too rude of the thing to ask. Tozen no shitsumun desho. Watashi wa sakuban. So, last night I was... Yeah. Yeah, what does he say? I'm trying to remember without looking. Yeah. Ki ni nasaranai de kudasai. Oki ni nasaranai de kudasai. Oki ni nasaranai de kudasai. Yeah. Oki ni nasaranai de kudasai. Touzen no shitsumun desho. Just so you can follow. Touzen, natural. To, honto no to, touzen. And then we did zen just a minute ago. But we did it with izen, as in still. But this is touzen. As in it's natural. Touzen na. Oh, touzen no. Why is this not? This is a not adjective and a no adjective. Okay. Touzen no shitsumon. Shitsumon is two axes on top of a shellfish. Touzen, let's write it twice. Touzen shitsumon. Shitsumon, and then there's the gates with the mouth. Touzen shitsumon desho. And he says, Watashi wa sakubun. Same. Oh, I always write this wrong. I guess I gotta break that habit. Sakubun, which is the sun. Now I'm looking at sakubun. Sakuban. Sakuban.
いつも通り11時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました。
So Itsumodori, as usual. Shichiji or Juji kara Junichi goro. Around 11 and 12. From Made. From 11 to about 12. Junichi goro made. Yashiki, that's the residence. Here, maybe I'll move my mouse around so you guys follow. Yashiki no mimawari, inspection. Yashiki no mimawari o shite orimashita. So oryu is the humble form of iru. Okay. So when you're speaking about yourself, you use humble form. When you're speaking about others, you use honorific. So you do is nasaru. I do is oru. Right? I have a little rerun doll right here that I talk to when I explain things. It's like the programming rubber ducky method. So this is who I'm talking to, if anyone's curious. So, okay, let's take it nice and slow. Itsumo dori. Dori is like an avenue. Itsumo is like always. Itsu is actually when, right? So when you say itsumo, it changes that when into like always. Itsumo dori. So it's the usual route that I usually take. It's more like as habitual. Juichiji kara. 11時から12時頃, and I think goro is page and spoon. Nope, spoon and page, the opposite. Spoon. I'm looking at this kanji right here. Koro. Juji koro. Boom. Page. Juji koro. And then when I'm saying like things that sound like random words, what I mean by spoon, I'm like this left side of the kanji is a spoon and the right side of the kanji is a page. It's just like some mnemonics to help you remember kanjis. Juji koro made. So kara is from and made is an until. Yashiki. Ah, yashiki is a hard one. So yeah, I should know because that's the roof, right? That's the same as if you say a ramen ya or like any store. Yashiki. Shiki, I haven't learned this one. I don't know if it's going to do me any good to try to write it. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a vertical stroke. And the direction. This is the direction part. And then this part can mean winter. Yeah. I think I might have forgotten a dash too. 4, 5, 6. Then there's a dash. Direction. Winter. That's yashiki. It means by itself, it means like spreading or paving something. Yashiki no mimawari. Mimawari. That's looking around. Mimawari. Literally looking around. Mimawari o. And the dictionary definition of that was patrolling. Mimawari o shitte orimashita. Shitte orimashita. いつも通り10時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました。Great. Yeah, we're going real slow today.
では、その時、幹事さんのご遺体を発見されたんですか？
では、so then, その時, at that time, Kanji-san no go itai. Itai is the body, so the corpse. Oh, hakken is discovered. Sareta. Sareru. So, in regular speech, it would be hakken shita, but since we're speaking respectfully right now, we're saying hakken sareta, which is the passive / honorific form. Hakken sareta desu ka? So, this sentence should actually be pretty easy. では、その時、I'm gonna write it exactly how they do it. その時は、oh, no, just その時、漢字さんのご遺体。So, what's the precious? Itai, this kanji right here, the bequeath kanji. It's something precious, and then on like this movement radical, so something precious that gets left behind. Itai. Tai is a pretty beginner kanji, meaning a body. Itai o hakken. Hakken. Oh, I wrote that backwards. The first kanji here, ha, is it's kind of like to release something. Or it means departure. Or discharge. Hakken, so when you depart and see something at the same time, or something gets published, I guess that means you discover it. Hakken sareta. Saretan, the n makes it a little bit more like a nice way of asking for an explanation. Saretan desu ka? では、その時幹事さんのご遺体を発見されたんですか?
いえ、その時土蔵の扉にはしっかりと鍵がかかっておりました。
Oh, yeah. At that time, sono toki. Yeah means no. Sono toki dozo. Dozo is the storehouse here. So like what you see in the picture is the storehouse. Dozo no tobira is the door. Niwa shikkari, firmly. Kagi ga kakatte. The key, kagi. Kagi means key and lock. And then the kagi ga kakatte, it was locked. Orimashita. Kakatte orimashita. So instead of just saying kakata, it's in the state of being, so it's something that exists for a long time. So it's kakate orimashita. Yep, gonna keep writing stuff down as I go. So ie, sono toki, dozo, dozo. Oh, actually no, this kanji. This is the kanji that you use in reizoko, which is the refrigerator. So it's two grasses, then okay, I say I know it. A cliff. Then this little government minister guy slashed. Double doing it again. 1, 2, 3. Slash comes first, then the horizontal. Dozo. Dozo. No. Tobira. Here's the stroke order for Tobira, if anyone wants to follow along. Tobira, niwa, niwa, shikkari, firmly, shikkari. To, so shikkari to. Yeah. It's easy to ignore these little particles as you go, because you understand the sentence without thinking about them too much. But when you actually try to make the sentence later, you'll realize like, oh, how do I say something was firmly, so with firmness, shikari to. And then kagi is just gold. It looks complicated, but it's just gold with building right here. Kagi, it's just gold with building. Everything from here is gold and everything from here is a kanji for building. Kanji ka kakatte. And then similarly, the kakaru kanji. Kakatte orimashita. So, yeah, sono toki, dozo no tobira ni wa shikkari to kagi ga kakatte orimashita. Which you can see in the picture there, that it was firmly locked, according to him.
ところが、今朝早く土蔵の前を通りかかって、ふと扉を見ましたら、鍵はいつの間にか外れていたのです。
Tokoro ga, even so. There's so many weird ways to use tokoro, which literally means place, but like place ga except. Ga sometimes means but. Sometimes it means it's a marker for the subject of the sentence. So you have to pay attention, I guess. Tokoro ga kesa hayaku. This morning, early hayaku dozo no mai o tori kakatte. Dozo no mae o tori kakatte. So kakaru can also mean to take something. I don't know if it uses the same kanji as you use when you're locking something. But I think just generally you don't use the kanji. Because like look, there's like 16 different ways to use kakaru. It's kind of like take, you know, you can take cover, you can take a book, or you can take time. So it means a lot of things. Futto, suddenly. Well, that's one I haven't seen before. Tobira o mimashitara. I saw the door, and the kagi wa itsu no mani ka. Itsu again means when. Itsu no mani ka. I think this is just like an idiom to say what it says here before one knew it. Azurete ita. It was disconnected no desu. And this is just really it just is a emphasis to say unexpectedly. Okay. So I'm not totally sure what this tori kakaru means exactly, so I am going to ChatGPT it. It might take a second for my chat server to get started, but after that we'll have it running. Maybe I need to zoom in a bit. As I happen to pass by in front of the storehouse. Okay. However, kesa hayaku dozo no mai o ori kakatte means just to pass by. Futto tobira o mimashitara kagi wa itsu no. Itsu no whatever. Itsu no mani kaku is an adverbial phrase meaning before one knows. Azurete ita no desu. Okay. Alright, now time to copy it. Tokoro ga kessa hayaku. Hayaku in the early kanji for hayaku, kessa hayaku, and then dozo. Well, this is good. We're getting lots of practice for some kanjis that are repeating. Dozo no mai o tori kakatta kakatte. Yeah, so you notice they used the kanji or kakaru here when they were talking about the lock. But when you're talking about tori kakatte, the same speaker and everything does not use the kanji. So that's why I think, I think the kanji here literally is only used for sometimes. Tori kakatte. So I pass by, and then futto. Futto suddenly. Tobira o mimashita. Shitara. Meter is a pretty beginner vocab. You should try to learn. Imashitara, and then we're gonna go kagi. Kagi wa itsu no ma ni ka. 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 Hazurete. It was disconnected. Hazureru. Hazurete. Ita no desu. Yeah, you could have just said hazurete ita, or you, in this case, hazurete imashita or orimashita, but to add an emphasis, it was the case that it was disconnected.
驚いて中に入ってみると、幹事様が変わり果てた姿で。
Odorite naka ni haite miru. Surprised. I was surprised, and then I looked inside, and then I entered. Haite miru, and so I tried to enter. Kanji-sama ga kawari wa ta sugata de. To here. So when I tried to enter, then Kanji-sama, that's the person in the background here. This is Kanji-sama there. Kanji-sama ga kawari hatteru. Is completely changed figure, sugata. De dot dot. So it's half of a sentence. But all right, let's start with odorita. The kanji for odoru is the top part here is the kanji for polite. And then on top of a horse. Odoroite. So I don't know if it means being polite to a horse is surprising, or seeing a very polite person on a horse, or meeting a very polite horse is surprising. But that's how you write odoroku, to be surprised. So odoroite, naka ni haite miru. Naka de haite miru to. Haite miru to. To in this case is separating the beginning part and the second part. So, and here it means when. So when I entered, haite miru to, kanji sama ga, kanji sama ga kawari hatteru. This means fruit, or completely. You know, a fruit is kind of the completion of a flower, right? Kawari hatteru. Kawari hatteru. Hatteru is to be finished. So change completely. This is like a compound verb. You can just stick two verbs together. Kawari hatteru. Hatteta. So not hatteru, hatteta. Kanji ga kawari hatteta sugata. And then the verb perform is actually the kanji for tsugi on top, which is next, and ona on the bottom, which is woman. The next woman, I don't know, you can think the next woman always has a better figure. than the first woman. You know, it's kind of that grass is always greener on the other side paradox. Gotta watch out for that. Which is to say, don't always be chasing the next woman's figure. Tsugi onna. Tsugata. After that, okay. Moving on. I keep clicking the screen with my mouse.
土蔵で殺人があったのは昨夜の10時から11時の間ということですよ。
Shikashi. However, dozo de satsujin ga atta no wa, the murder happened no wa sakuya no 10時から11時の間ということですよ. So he's like, however, so now the detective is speaking. However, in the storehouse, the murder occurred last night between 10 and 11. Which contradicts what Kanji was saying, what the butler here is saying, because the butler said, Itsumo tori 11時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました. Well, is that really a contradiction? Because the police are saying the murder happened between 10 and 11. This guy is saying the murder, he patrolled after 11. So someone could have murdered him and then locked the gates right before this guy showed up. But we are straying into the beyond Japanese grammar, I guess. I just realized I've had the browser blocking the screen the whole time. Okay, so moving on. Shikashi, however, shikashi. Do, so, de, satsujin. De, satsujin ga atta. Atta no wa. Satsujin ga atta no wa. Sakuya. Yeah, that's not how you write. Yeah, sakuya. It's a person, and then winter. Sakuya. Juji. Juji kara. Juichiji. No. Aida. Toyu koto. Toiyu koto. The thing that's being said is that it happened between 10 and 11. Toyu koto. Isn't it? Desu yo. Shikashi, dozo de satsujin ga atta no wa sakuya 10時から11時の間ということですよ。
警察の方も私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
警察の方も私の勘違いでは misunderstanding ではないかとおっしゃるのです。I'm gonna need help with this one. So let's bring back the AI helper. The police officer also says that it might be my understanding. So keisatsu kata is a polite kata here is a polite term for a person. Okay. Keisatsu no kata mo watashi no kanchigai, misunderstanding. Kanchigai dewa nai. Dewa nai to. So dewa nai, like it isn't my misunderstanding, but it's really saying like, might it not be your understanding? Dewa nai ka. Dewa nai ka? Like, so this ka here makes it into a question insert. So, watashi no kanchigai dewa nai ka? Might it not be? He asked that. So, to osharu no desu. Osharu is the honorific verb of to say. So instead of hanasu, the person above you says hanasharu, oisharu, oh, osharu, hanasu, osharu. Okay. All right, this time let's actually hide the browser and go back to the game. And we can practice the kanji now. So keisatsu. Again, the kanji for polite on the top. Nice to live in a country that thinks police officers are polite. But someone who politely speaks, this bottom part means to speak. That by itself means commandment, to admonish somebody. So to politely speak is actually to tell people. And then satsu is cops. Or it means guess. So in this, I guess the cops are kind of investigators. Keisatsu. Keisatsu no kata. So in the case of the police, mo watashi no kanchigai. Kan, I don't know. Intuition. Perception. So maybe you misperceived something. You failed your perception check. Watashi no kan. This is the new kanji for me. 6. And then there's like half of a 4. Kan. Yeah, how do I remember this one? So it's kind of like the kanji for ear, and then the kanji for power. So if you perceive something, or you have intuition, maybe you have it 4 times the hearing power. Yeah, that's why it can also mean your 6th sense, kan. And then chigai. Chigai. You can look at the stroke order there. 7, 8, 9, 10. Kanchigai de wa nai ka to o osharu no desu. Osharu no desu. Osharu no desu. So it's also the thing that the cops asked me. All right, so we got through one section. Let's review it in the backlog for listening.
失礼ですが、昨夜の10時から11時の間、あなたはどこで何をなさってましたか？
アリバイですか？いえ、お気になさらないでください。当然の質問でしょう。私は昨晩、
Sakuya, Sakuban. The two characters have different ways of saying night. I don't know if that's interesting or means anything.
いつも通り11時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました。いつも通り11時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました。
Yashiki no mimawari o shite orimashita.
いつも通り11時から12時頃まで屋敷の見回りをしておりました。
では、その時幹事さんのご遺体を発見されたんですか？では、その時幹事さんのご遺体を発見されたんですか？
Hakken sareta desu ka?
では、その時幹事さんのご遺体を発見されたんですか？
いえ、その時土蔵の扉にはしっかりと鍵がかかっておりました。
いいえ、その時銅像の扉にはしっかりと鍵がかかっておりました。
いえ、その時土蔵の扉にはしっかりと鍵がかかっておりました。
しっかりと鍵がかかっておりました。I'm gonna try to shadow it. It might be annoying to hear me listening along, but
いえ、
yeah.
その時土蔵
その
の扉には
時銅像の
しっかりと
扉にはし
鍵
っか
がかかっ
りと
ておりました。
鍵がかかっておりました。
ところが今朝早く土蔵の前を通りかかってふと扉を見ましたら、鍵はいつの間にか外れていたのです。
What did Tokoro-ga mean again? Even so.
ところが今朝早く土蔵の前を通りかかってふと扉を見ましたら、鍵はいつの間にか外れていたのです。
いつの間にか外れていたのです。
ところが今朝早く土蔵の前を通りかかってふと扉を見ましたら、鍵はところが今朝早く土蔵の前を通りかかってふと扉を見ましたら、鍵はいつの間にか外れていたのです。
外れていたんです。
驚いて中に入ってみると、幹事様が変わり果てた姿で。
顔が変わりはず。
驚いて中に入ってみると、幹事様が変わり果てた姿で。
驚いて中に入って。
驚いて中に入ってみると、幹事様が変わり果てた姿で。
しかし、土蔵で殺人があったのは、昨夜の10時から11時の間ということですよ。しかし、土蔵で殺人があったのは、昨夜の10時から11時の間ということですよ。
銅像で殺人があったのは。
しかし、土蔵で殺人があったのは、昨夜の10時から11時の間ということですよ。
警察の方も、私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
警察の方も、私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
かとおっしゃるのです。
警察の方も、私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
私、勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。I'm trying to catch this おっしゃる at the end.
警察の方も、私の勘違いではないかとおっしゃるのです。
おっしゃるのです。Let's see. I just need a little break. Feel like we went through quite a bit. Even though it was only like a few paragraphs. like a paragraph. Okay, let's ask about the Dozo storehouse.
銅像は長い間使われておりませんでしたので、いつも鍵がかけられておりました。
Dozo wa nagai aida tsukawarete orimasen deshita. For a long time, tsukawarete orimasen has not been used. Tsukawarete orimasen deshita no de. So because it has not been used for a long time, itsumo kagi ga kakerarete has been locked. Kakerarete orimashita. Dozo wa nagai aida. Just keep writing stuff down. Dozo wa nagai aida tsukawarete orimasen deshita. Orimasen deshita no de. Deshita no de. Itsumo, always. Itsumo kagi ga. The key itself, kagi ga kakerarete. It is locked. Kagi kakerarete orimashita. There's a little subtle point here because they still say the kagi ga, so the kagi is still the same the subject marker here. But instead of saying kakaru, so like the key itself is locked, they're saying kakerarete. So this is more like saying it's locked by somebody. So it's more like it's kept locked. You know, if I say the door is locked or I say the door is kept locked, one of them implies that there's somebody acting. So kakerarete is the passive form of the transitive verb, whereas just kakaru would be an intransitive verb. So, どうぞは長い間使われておりませんでしたので、いつも鍵がかけられておりました。Oh, what a doozy.
じゃあ、めったに人は来ないんですね。
じゃあ、見た ?Rarely? 見たに人は来ないんですね。So rarely do people come, right?
さようです。ただし遺言公開の日、なぜか明様は銅像の近くに来られたようですが。
Sayo. So just like that. I guess this is a better way of saying so desu. Sayo desu. Which is literally the kanji for your left hand, and then the kanji for like that way, your left hand way. Sayo desu. Sayo desu. So desu. Sayo desu. Tada. However, it's just that tada. Shi. Maybe tadashi by itself means. However, tadashi. Yeah, however, tadashi yuigon kokai no hi. So, however, on the day of reading the will, this is the same kanji we just saw for itai, but in this case, we're talking about actually bequeathing a will. Yui gon. So reading it out. Yui gon. The will. Kokai is a public opening. Kokai opening to the public. Kokai no hi. He is day. Naze ka. Why? For what reason? Nazeka. For some reason, Nazeka. Akira-sama, that's a person. Akira-sama wa dozo. Dozo no chikaku. Chikaku ni. Why did he get close to the storehouse? Chikaku ni orareta. Orareta yo desu. Yo desu ga. However, Sayo desu. Okay, Sayo desu. It is the case that nobody goes there. Tadashi, however, Yugan Kokai no hi, nazeka, for some reason, Akira-sama wa dozo no chikaku ni korareta yo desu. However, for some reason, it seems like Akira got closer to the storehouse on that day, for some reason.
そうだ。茜さんが大きな荷物を持ったアキラさんを見たって言っていたんだった。
そうだ。Akane-sanが大きな荷物を持ったAkira-sanを見たって言っていたんです。いたんだったな。そうだ。That's right. Akane-san, that's the maid, が大きな荷物を持った。So carrying a large suitcase or some kind of a large piece of luggage. Akira-san, she saw that. Omitate. She saw that. And then te is to quote it. It's also the same as to. Itte. So she was saying that itte ita. Dattana. And then dattana is like definitely was saying that. So, soda. Akane-san が大きな荷物を持ったアキラさんを見たって言っていたんだったな。Alright, let's write it down. そうだ。Akane-san. I don't think this is an important kanji to know. Akane-sanが大きなI always forget that oki is a non-adjective. Okina. 荷物。大きな荷物を持ったアキラさんを見た。て言っていたん。She was saying that. いたんだったな。I want to get like, since we're going slow today, I also want to paste all this into ChatGPT. So that we can get the nuance of all these extra like little datas and this and that. Okay. So I just care about this. Ite tan datana. So ite ta, yeah. No da. So just no data. Just for explanation or emphasis on recollection. And it emphasizes something, recalling something previously known. It's an interesting bit of nuance. Okay. Let's remember to hide this. そうだ、あかねさんが大きな荷物を持ったあきらさんを見たって言ってたんだったな。Wasn't she saying that? Well, I guess it's like saying, wasn't she saying that? She saw that. Let's just review it, that last section.
銅像は長い間使われておりませんでしたので、いつも鍵がかけられておりました。
じゃあ、めったに人は来ないんですね。じゃあ、めったに人は来ないんですね。
I guess I already have it saved. Mettani. Kanji for destroy. Many. If you destroy many, then it's rare. Seldom.
じゃあ、めったに人は来ないんですね。
来ないんですね。
さようです。ただし遺言公開の日、なぜか明様は銅像の近くに来られたようですが。
そうだ。あかねさんが大きな荷物を持ったあきらさんを見たって言っていたんだったな。
Okay. Next part is, what is this? Curio. Kotohin. So, antiques. There's the kanji for skeleton. I guess the top part, I don't know if it means anything, but to me it kind of looks like a skull. And then the moon. And then this one, to, correct. That's what it means. But it's really just grass on top of the heavy kanji. So this top part, the first three strokes on the top, that means grass, and then the bottom part means heavy. Like omoi, omoi, hin. And then hin is just hin from like stuff. You know, hin is just a bunch of boxes on top of each other, which means goods, you know, articles, things that you sell. Okay, so skeleton, grass, heavy, kotohin. Anyways.
実はここに保管されていた骨董品のいくつかがなくなっているのです。
So the truth is, ここに、保管された、safekeeping されていた骨董品のいくつかが a few pieces of antiques がなくなっているのです。are missing. They are lost. So, to be lost. なくなる. So, okay. 実は truth is 実はここに保管されていた placed here for safekeeping. Let's look at this part. 保管 So kan this is the same kanji you'd use for like janitor. Kanrisha means control, I guess. Hokan. So for deposit, safekeeping. Hokan sarete ita koto in. Koto in. No. Koto in no. And then some of those. Ikutsu ka. Ikutsuka. There's a few of them. Ikutsuka ga. So they were. Nakunatte iru. So they are missing. Natte iru no desu. Okay. 実はここに保管されていた骨董品のいくつかがなくなっているのです。
あのナイフもここにあったものの一つです。
あのナイフも。So the knife, there's a knife in the dead guy's chest. あのナイフもここにあったの一つ。このあったにもこのにあったもの。Okay. So ここに here あったもの。A thing, mono is a thing that was here. No, hitotsu desu. It was one of the things that was here. So that knife was also one of the things that was here. あのナイフもここにあったものの一つです。I don't know why, but suddenly he stopped using any kanji in this statement.
それは本当ですか？
それは本当ですか? Really? Is that true? それは本当ですか? I guess I could write that down. それは本当ですか? 本当ですか?
はい、確かなことでございます。ですので、これは。
This humble speech is always tripping me up. 確かなこと。For sure thing でございます。It is. I think でございます can just replaces である or だ maybe. 確かなことでございます。So I think it should just replace です。確かなことです。That's a for sure thing. 確か certain. That's a for sure thing. 確かなことでございます。ですので however ですのでこれはですので that being the case because of that これは
きっと物取りの仕業に違いありません。
きっと definitely 物取り I think that means somebody who takes something 物取りの thief. If you know the other word for thief, dorobo, but seems more straightforward. Somebody who takes things, monotori no shiwaza, actions, ni chigai arimasen. So chigai nai, there's definitely, so we have two statements of definitely. Kitto, definitely, chigai arimasen. There's no mistake. Definitely no mistake that this was caused, this is the deed, the actions of a robber. Okay. Kitto. Monotori. See, now he's using the kanji for mono. Monotori. Monotori no shiwaza. Shiwaza ni chigai arimasen. Kitto monotori no shiwaza. きっと物取りの仕業に違いありません。Alright, let's review that last few.
実はここに保管されていた骨董品のいくつかがなくなっているのです。
骨董品のいくつかがなくなっており、
実はここに保管されていた骨董品のいくつかがなくなっているのです。あのナイフもここにあったものの一つです。あのナイフもここにあったものの一つです。あのナイフもここにあったものの一つです。
このにあったものの一つです。
それは本当ですか？
はい、確かなことでございます。ですので、これは、はい、確かなことでございます。ですので、これは、
Okay, so read these two together. For that reason, because that's the case, this is
と物取りの仕業に違いありません。
definitely the case in actions of some robbers. When we talked to the police said because it looked like there was just sudden violence, they thought it looked more like the actions of some family to squabble. Okay, let's ask about the kagi. Let's take a look at that too. Kagi.
鍵はタバコ入れの引き出しにしまってあったはずですが、誰かが持ち出したということでしょうか。
So the kagi wa, the key, was tobacco ire no hikidashi. Hikidashi is a drawer. Hikidashi is a drawer. It's literally something that you take things out of, that you pull and then take things out of. Tobacco ireru, tobacco ire. So the tobacco container drawer, hikidashi ni shimatte. It was put there, shimatte atta hazu desu ka. So it should have been in the tobacco drawer, right? However, dareka, somebody, dareka, which is who, and then adding ka to it makes it into somebody. Dareka ga mochidashita. Mochidashita took it out. Toyu koto deshou ka? Must have taken it out. All right. I'm going slow. I'm gonna push myself to not be lazy and keep writing things down. Kagi wa tabakko ire. Kagi. Kagi. Kagi wa. Kagi wa. Ba. 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 Ko. Katakana is hard. Tobacco ire. Tobacco ire no hikidashi. Hikidashi no hikidashi ni shimatte atta. Shimatte atta. Hazu desu. Hazu desu ga. Hazu desu ga. It should have been in there. However, dare is the symbol for saying something and on the left side, and then bird on the right side. Dare ka ga mochidashita. Mochi is to carry something or to hold it. Machi. Dash. Dasu is to take something out. Dasu. Dashita. Toyu. Toyu is to be said. Toyu koto de shouka. Alright. I also want to put this one into ChatGPT just to double check it. Because I'm a little not sure what the shimatte atta part means. Kage wa tabako ire no hikidashi ni shimatte atta wa shimatta hazu desu ka? Dareka ga mochidashita toyu koto desho ka? Yeah, I'm also a little want to double check. The key should have been in the drawer of the cigarette case. But does this mean someone took it out? Desho ka? Seeking confirmation. Toyu koto. The fact that is it a thing? A phrase used to indicate reported speech or thought. And shimatte atta, oh, it should be to put away, had been stored. Ah, yeah. My parser doesn't pick that up. See? That's why you need multiple tools. So, shimatte atta was put away. So, kagi wa tabako iri no hikidashi. Shimatte atta hazu desu ga. Should have been in the drawer. Should have been put away in the drawer. However, dareka ga mochidashita toyu koto desho ka? Okay, back to the game. Was there enough there to review?
鍵はタバコ入れの引き出しにしまってあったはずですが、誰かが持ち出したということでしょうか。
And then tobacco ire. This is the tobacco drawer.
タバコ入れ。
旦那様の形見として菊様が愛用しておられました。
Dana-sama no kitami. So Dana-sama was the boss. No kitami. Oh, it was a memento of the husband. Ah. No kitami. Ki means a shape, and then this is to see. To see the shape of somebody as a keepsake. Dana-sama no kitami toshite. So being used as a keepsake. Kiku-sama ga. Kiku-sama is an old lady who died. Kiku-sama ga. Aiyo. Favorite. Aiyo shite. Orarimashita. So what does it mean to habitually used? This is also. And then while this is running, I'll write it down. Used it habitually as a memento of her husband. I guess the tobacco drawer? Dana-sama. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Dana-sama. This kanji means what? Okay. And this kanji means daybreak. What daybreak? means the husband. Danna-sama no kitami no kitami no kitami toshite in the capacity of Danna-sama no kitami toshite. So I guess you could put like a comma there, right here. This is one part of the sentence. And we can say Kiku-sama ga. So what did she do? Aiyo shite. Aiyo, habitual favorite use, suru. And then orareru is the respectful auxiliary. Araremashita. So she used it habitually. Kiku-sama ga aiyo. Loving. Ai is the kanji for love, and this is the kanji next to it is for use. So lovingly use something. Aiyo shite. Oraremashita. Aiyo shite oraremashita. Okay, back to the game.旦那様のkitami toshite Kiku-sama ga ai o shite oraremashita.
さんはタバコ。
Kiku-san wa tabako. So she smoked tobacco.
はい。以前は。
Izen wa. Hey, yes, Izen. Before, previously. Not anymore because now she's dead.
しかし、
Everybody's dead in the
心臓
story.
に良くないと熊田先生に言われてからは禁煙しておられました。
Shinzo, so her heart. Shikashi shinzo ni yokunai to. It's bad for her heart. To. That's a quote. Said Yamada Sensei. Yamada Sensei, in this case, is not a doctor, it's a teacher. Yamada Sensei ni iwarete. She was told by the doctor. So this is the passive form to say by the doctor. She was told iwarete kara wa kinen. Iwarete kara wa kinen. To abstain. Shite orarimashita. Okay. I want to skip ahead. I just want to skip ahead and keep going, but we said we're gonna try hard. Shikashi. Shinzo. So we know the kanji for heart. That one's easy. Shinzo. This is your entrails. Oh, okay. It's literally just the kanji for storehouse on the right, and then the kanji for moon on the left. And then this moon kanji, I think it also means body because you see it in like every body part kanji. So, okay. It looked complicated, but we already know all the pieces. Shinzo. See, that's why you gotta write things down. Because if I had just skipped it and moved along, then I would have just been like, well, there was a complicated kanji. I guess I'm never gonna learn that. But no, I know. Shinzo ni yokunai. Shinzo ni yokunai. It's not good for to Kumada sensei. This part. Kumada sensei. This kanji means what? It means bear? Doesn't it mean like condition? Anyways. Kumada sensei. Ni iwarete. Iwarete kara wa kinen shite orarimashita. So does it mean she was prohibited from it? Kin. And this is the word for smoke. Start with fire. And then there's a little Western radical. And dirt. So the fire in the west, you put dirt on it, and then you see smoke. 避難しておられました。避難しておられました。Okay, I also want to translate this one. Am I starting to rely on the translator too much? Well, I think I worked on it myself, right? Since I need water te, like I figured out that this was passive tense, but then I haven't seen this before. Kara wa, like kara wa. Since being told by Dr. Kamada that's not good for the heart, she had quit smoking. Oh, okay. Oh, so izen, earlier I said izen, which is previously. However, shinzo ni yokunai to Kumara sensei ni iwarete. Since he was told that, kara, since then. So from the time since she was told that, kara wa kinen shite orarimashita. Kinen suru, and then dogsu, the respectful form of saying iru. Orareru, orarimashita. She had abstained from smoking.
それ以来、小物入れとして使っておられたようです。
それ以外 since then, 小物入れとして使っておられたようです。So I think we're still talking about the tobacco drawer or the tobacco pouch. Okay, so
鍵はタバコ入れの引き出しにしまってあったはずですが、誰かが持ち出したということでしょうか。
タバコ入れ
so we're talking about the tobacco drawer.
旦那様の形見として菊様が愛用しておられました。
I think I was reading this long earlier. Katami, not kitami, katami.
旦那様の形見として菊様が愛用しておられました。
菊さんはタバコを
はい、以前は。しかし、心臓に良くないと熊田先生に言われてからは禁煙しておられました。
Okay, and now saying, so now, それ以来, since then, 小物入れ, so small things, 小物入れ, to put small in things, として, so it's being used as a thing to put small things into, として, 使って, 使 was to use, として使って, and then she was using it, おられたようです. Seems like she was using it for those things. Okay. それ以来、小物入れとして使っておられたようです. It looked like she was using it for keeping small things.
なるほど。で、そのタバコ入れは
なるほど. I understand. で、そのタバコ入れは
あ、そういえば、あのタバコ入れがいつの間にかなくなっているようです。
そういえば, so speaking of that thing, but speaking about it, あのタバコ入れが, that little tobacco pouch, いつの間にか. So we saw this earlier, いつの間にか. Before anyone noticed, before anyone realized, いつの間にか Nakunatte iru. It became lost. Nakunatte iru. Nakunatte. It became lost. Natte nakunatte iru you desu. It seems like it became lost. Oh, seems like everything's disappearing, going lost. Okay, we asked all the questions. No, there's a whole bunch of other things we can do, but I think for now I just want to save the game. And maybe take a break. I don't know if I should try to review it before I leave. I think I'll just take a break for now and then we'll come back to it. Yeah, this is not a stream where I can play video games for 4 hours. I think it's like pretty mentally taxing to be translating and trying to break through all these vocabulary limits. Thank you for watching, and I will see you guys tomorrow.